Taking initiative is also going to be linking in with self-accountability. I ended the last one talking about, why self-accountability is important, especially when, give an example, when you're coming back from home, you're not at work and no one else is there to tell you, what to do. And I believe taking the initiative links in very well with the self-accountability topic that we just talked about, because that's the next step in, accountability, or it links in hand with accountability. Taking initiative is me going out and making sure I do this and I do that. I'm taking matters into my own hands. So let's say the shopping needs to be done in the house I'm living in. I'm going to go out and do the shopping to make sure it's done. I'm taking the initiative and making sure the action gets done by me, not by leaving it for someone else. The main reason why it links in with self-accountability is because it's taking matters into your own hands, but no one else is telling you to do it. Like the example I was given before, when you come home from work, when you come home from school, whatever, everyday activities, your life is now in your hands, right? There's no one there, watching over you or telling you what to do. You have no timetable to follow. You have to create your own schedule. Let's just give a typical, Western lifestyle at the moment. Let's say you get home from school around 4 p.m. So between 4 and let's say you get to bed at 11, you've got a good, 7-hour chunk of time. How do you spend it? You have to take the initiative and push yourself out of the comfort zone to achieve things that you want to achieve, right? I think another good example would be, for a school example, let's say you really enjoy doing, science. Let's say you do biology, you really love it, and you're going to take the initiative and ask the teacher if there's anything you can do to improve even more. If you're looking to, expand your knowledge in biology and you really are passionate about that subject, taking the initiative would be going to your teacher and asking for even more either feedback or even more sort of work in a way, just to improve your own knowledge in that. Because to you, biology doesn't feel like, work. It feels just fun to do because you enjoy it so much. And that's what links on with the next point. So taking the initiative only really occurs when it's something that you like. So for example, if you like a sport, let's say you're playing, netball, you're playing hockey, you really love playing hockey and netball, you may take the initiative and go out and put more effort in than those around you because you enjoy that extra bit more than they do. And so you're going to try and put yourself at a more higher competitive advantage by playing more, practicing more, watching more videos. Let's say you have training between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. You go home between 9 and 10, you watch videos on technique, and taking that initiative to improve your hockey or netball ability is what's going to put you ahead of your competitors. I think this is obviously a very competitive based example, but I think taking initiative is very, very, very vital in a competitive aura. And I think the working aura or the corporate job life is also very competitive. So you could almost, translate that across paths in your life. Just like consistency and just like accountability, a lot of these, core fundamental values in life will translate from one niche that you implement it with into others. That's why it's very important to start somewhere. Doesn't matter where. It could be the sport, like I said. It could be in school. It could be in work. As long as you start somewhere and it will, stick with it, it will eventually get contagious within your sort of lifestyle and spread across your life. So I just want to touch base again on why, or what happens when you don't, take initiative. What happens when you don't do that extra, go the extra mile, let's say. Let's say you're doing, you're in school and you get forced to do subjects and you don't want to do a certain subject because you don't enjoy it, right? Obviously, you're not going to be looking to improve in that because you don't care about it, and therefore you're never going to go the extra mile. You're never going to really care about it, right? So the obvious, negative would be you're never going to improve that niche. But let's say you really are passionate about hockey or netball, and you only just, go to training between 7 and 9, then you got to ask yourself that question. Are you really that passionate about it? Do you really want to be, a hockey player or a netball player, or do you just sort of want to do it for fun? Because, you can play sports for fun. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there isn't. But if you're trying to take your game to the next level, whatever that is, the example for now is just get, netball game, hockey game. But if you want to take, that niche in your life to the next level, you need to have this initiative, this inner fire to push you to do better than others, especially when we're talking about a competitive seen a competitive environment. But at the end of the day, if you don't ask yourself, are you passionate? It links in again with accountability. Are you taking responsibility for your actions? Do you really think you could have done X, Y, Z better in the game, or are you just going to blame your teammates? You're going to take the blame. You're going to take the initiative on and improve yourself, or you're not going to take any accountability and blame it on everyone else. And once again, I want to make it clear, this is, I'm all for playing sports for fun. I play for sports for fun. So if this is just for someone who's trying to learn or gain some knowledge in a niche that they're very passionate about and want to improve. See, that's the key word, want to. Whereas let's say I'm playing, football with my friends. Do I care if I want to get better and stuff? No, I'm there to have fun. So why would I take this seriously? Yeah, I wouldn't. But like I said before, I'm just going to reiterate again. This is only for people that want to know how to improve their mindset and their ability within these niches. We've been talking about sport, but like I said, it translates across from work into school, even into just basic everyday life like cooking. And something that really stuck with me when I was thinking about this topic was, growing up, there's a quote saying growing up is optional. You choose when to grow up. And I think, when you've grown up is when you take on responsibilities. When you have that accountability in life and you take on all these different responsibilities, that's when you've truly grown up. Because like we mentioned before, when you're a kid, the responsibilities are pretty minimal, right? And so the phrase growing up is you basically just gaining more responsibilities and taking more control and being more accountable for your actions in your life. So to top this off, we've talked about initiative, what it means to have an initiative, why you should have initiative, when to use it, but also how it links in with accountability and how it can be used as a core structural block for life and how it can translate across these different parts of life. And just to reiterate one more time, I want to make sure, I don't want people to watch this and, really get down on life and be like, oh, I'm not doing this and I'm not seeing improvement. Maybe I am just rubbish. Like I said, this example and some of these topics are purely just for people that are very focused on trying to improve in either a sport, very focused on the subject at school. These are just little tips and tricks on how to improve your specified part of life, rather than with the consistency video and accountability. I'd argue that should be applied every day. This is almost like a step up for people that really want to push themselves in those certain niches that they have. And at the end of the day, taking initiative could also be viewed as almost like a leadership role. If someone wants to become a leader within a team, within a company, this may be a characteristic that you want to develop. And just to finish this off, like we have been with quotes, I've got one from Banksy. Lots of people never use their initiative because no one told them to.